You recording?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Coming soon to a face near you. Joel. But first this. Knockoff Binks. Retreads. Weird cameos. Sisters. All of this and more on this edition of Sequel Men the Podcast. Did you like
all
my
right, I'm going to
squeaky
bring
voice?
us in here. Yeah, very good.
What if he was like, all right, I'm going to actually hit record now.
Yeah.
That was a good dry run, everybody.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to record.
Except I'll say that at the end. Like, are you kidding? Wait, you guys weren't recording that? No, Joel, we told you to hit record. Anyway.
Wow. All right, let's retread that.
That's an old cut.
Still,
okay.
Still on that, are we?
All right. Here we go. So, guys, I do have a question for both of you.
What?
Okay.
Between the three of us, if we were the Sanderson sisters, who would be who?
Joel's Winifred, because he's the crankiest.
But that would mean he's the most powerful.
Well.
Are you Sarah then? Or would I be Mary?
Yeah, I think so.
Why
'Cause
do I
I'm
gotta
into
be
boys.
Mary?
Fine, I'll be Mary. I don't know. You just seem the most Mary. I don't know. You're the most innocent of each of us.
What if
Except
there
you're
was
really
a-
not?
Oh.
Yeah, you're just as much of an asshole. So,
All right. Well, that's a good enough intro. Everybody, thank you for joining us for another new episode of Sequel Men the Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Christian Bring It All. And with me, as always, is my good friend and yours. I can't steal that.
No,
Go
you
ahead.
can't. Spencer, hi. How are you? Good? Good. I'm doing all right.
No,
Thanks
Spencer,
for
how are
asking.
you doing?
I'm
'Cause
fine.
we have a household filled with sick people.
Not anymore. They're on the and it was only my wife. The other ones, the kids were like minor, like 1 day each, just kind of like bleh, but they were fine. She was knocked out, like isolated. She was in her room, and I felt that she was rough.
Krista?
It was just me and the kids. Yeah,
Oh,
she
my.
was strep throat. Really. Ugh.
I haven't had strep
But-
in a long time.
Enough
Is she
about
doing better,
sickness.
though? She's doing better now, though, right?
Oh yeah, she's back.
Okay.
She's basically
Good.
normal.
Good,
To
good.
my immediate right, your immediate center if you're listening to two earbuds or headphones, or he's in your right ear if you're only listening to one. If he's in your left ear, he's in your left. If you're in the shower, you're naked. And Joel's there talking you through it. I mean, this person is here talking you through it. That's right, standing at 7'2" if he's climbing a ladder, but really about 5'7" if he's wearing regular shoes. He's got a voice of gold and a heart of mud. You know him as the bitch. We also know him as the bitch. Joel Howie.
For the purposes of this episode, it's the witch. There you go.
Oh yeah, sorry.
yeah, it's me, the bitchy witch. Joel,
No,
the
you're
voice
not
of Howie,
the
voice of this
bitch.
podcast, voice of the Laker Marching Band. Yeah,
Oh, there you
GVSU.
Speaking of
not like you
GVSU,
care.
let me real
So-
quick.
Oh, here we go.
Real quick. No, this is big. So Grand
Just like
Valley,
my-
their football team, they were ranked number 2 in the country in Division II, okay? Ferris State, an in-state rival who has beaten us the last several years, was ranked number 1. They played last week, and Grand Valley beat Ferris State by 1 point. Fuck the Bulldogs.
Yep.
Let's go. And now we're the number 1 team in the
They're
country.
actually
Let's go.
idiots.
And I'll go on record with
Yes,
this.
sir.
Literally, fuck them, because every time they come to Grand Valley, they're absolutely awful to us. So,
And
they
we
have zero
beat them
manners
on
whatsoever.
their home turf.
Yeah.
Suck it. Anchor Bone Classic.
So, anyway,
Anyway.
sorry to any Ferris State Bulldogs that might be listening to us, but
I'm
maybe
not.
we're the wrong
Fuck
people
you.
to listen to, I guess.
Just kidding.
Whoa.
You're in the same category as the Texans, I
No.
guess.
No, I'm just kidding. It's a in-state rivalry and we hate them, but
We don't
it's just
hate
the football.
them.
No,
We don't hate
We
them.
don't. They're a good school. They're a good school.
We just loathe them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Joel,
I
did you
just
want to
wish
plug
they didn't
yourself
exist.
anymore? Do you want to plug yourself anymore?
jpvoicedj.com is my website. It exists there.
Well, actually, Wix, they got a hold of my shenanigans and they kicked me off the site. And
Still waiting on my refund from Wix, but that's okay.
Well, Wix shoved the
jpvoicedj.com.
plunger up my ass, so if I'm walking funny, that's why. We're the sequel men, and
Look
we're
at the
talking
ass on
Hocus
that
Pocus
one.
2. we're talking Hocus Pocus 2. We're wrapping up Hocus Pocus. This has been just a fun Halloween trip. Happy Halloween, everybody. Or if it's already happened, I don't know which one of these is being released on Halloween, but regardless,
this one.
it's either coming past or gone and last. But happy Halloween.
Bye-bye.
This fits. Takes place on Halloween, and we're going to talk about it. What was your first experience with Hocus Pocus 2?
My first experience with Hocus Pocus 2, I'll start. I just hijacked that conversation. I was watching the first Hocus Pocus before we recorded that episode, obviously. And I got done with the movie. It was kind of late, like maybe 11. And I was like, now I kind of want to go into the second one. I'm probably not going to watch the whole thing, but I just want to like get a sneak peek into what it was like. And I watched it up until they left the Walgreens. And when they flew off on the brooms and stuff, I left it there. And I was like, oh boy, I don't know about this. But continuing on, I watched it just the other night, finished the movie couple movies ago. And I was pleasantly surprised by once they get into the thick of the movie, it gets better for me.
Great.
But it's not perfect.
The second time watching it, I enjoyed it.
Nothing ever is. Yeah.
I'll say that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I've only seen it once, and it was at the time of recording. It would be this past Sunday with Genevieve. She was not impressed with it. She thought it was quite a dumb movie.
And
now,
so
she's going to explore my thoughts on it.
Joel had to adopt that stance.
And you know what sucks? Because it
I've
was
got my
fine.
own brain.
Like it's literally just straight up.
I'm not the scarecrow.
The most fine sequel that I've seen in a long time. It wasn't garbage, but it did not meet expectations that we've been waiting for the last however many years that it's been in development.
I'll just say this. It comes across at thinking in hindsight, it comes across to me almost like an old band from the 70s or 80s still performing in the 2020s. That's what it comes across to me. Like it's like a farewell tour or something. Not a farewell tour, but just like a comeback tour 30, 40 years later. And they're trying to be as hip and cool as they were, or as good as they were back then. But it's just coming off as, what's the word? Try hard.
I mean,
in a sense.
you could mistake Billy Butcherson probably for one of the members of Rolling Stones at this point, but yeah.
Mick Jagger's
like this movie
Mick Zombie
did
Jagger.
exactly what it had to do, like to be just different enough. It did what every sequel, like legacy type sequel, does. You have a female led cast, which these are not bad things, by the way. I love that movies do that now. That's what we need.
And a diverse cast.
But it did exactly what it had to do. It didn't do anything new, and it gave it gave powers to the main character, and it set up probably a Disney Plus series. That's what any Disney Plus sequel does nowadays.
So? I would prefer a Hocus Pocus 3 rather than a Disney Plus series.
I wouldn't even want that.
But also, I'm not sure about how I feel about the whole, why do we got to make the Sandersons, and this isn't what happens at the end of the movie, by the way. They don't make them into heroes by any means. They make them into sympathetic figures. But
What you had to do.
I'm not sure I like that formula of taking. No, these are witches. They're like eating kids. They killed people.
But they're Disney witches.
I know. And they put that positive spin on it, and they might turn them into anti-heroes sort of in a sort of thing like Venom. But I'm not sure how I feel about that at that point. Well, they are literally the face of the franchise. I don't know if I would want them to come back either.
Yeah.
It wouldn't make sense.
I have
it didn't make sense for them. It didn't make sense for them to come back in this one.
Well, unless they did a guys.
When they died in the first one, the flame candle curse should have been broken.
There's a worse evil. What are we gonna do? I know who to call. And then they light the candle, and then they're back, and they're like, "Ah, yes, what dost thou need?" And they're like, "Hey, we kind of need your help now." That's the only way. That's the only way that another one would work. If there's a worse bad guy, maybe actually bring a Satan or a demon, and he's the bad guy, and they're conflicted. Like,
I don't think that's going to go on Disney.
I have more to say on this subject.
This is the perfect way to tie in Mephisto.
Joel, go ahead, shut up.
Like along this line of thought of like darker and stuff, but we should it's got heavily to do with Act 1. So I don't know.
So let's do that. Let's get into Act 1. Want to?
Yeah. So hang on to this thought.
I just want to say I didn't mean that in a derogatory sense, like saying they're washed up actresses or anything. I don't know.
No, we know what you meant.
That's what it felt like. You get that vibe where it's like, oh, this is going to be like the original, like the good old days. But then you go to that concert and it's like, it was okay.
Although I will say they did slip back into they had fun. The three they had fun.
They slipped back into their. I think I'm going to say what you were going to say is that
they didn't miss a beat.
It's a little rocky at the beginning, though. It comes across a little fan service and rocky at the beginning, but as the movie goes on, they slip back into their roles like that.
Well, Bette Midler, I think she said this is one of her favorite characters. Like, she's been wanting this for a long time. Like, this was her doing, let's be honest. And she was perfect as this character. I'll say that much. The other two were also close to capturing the same that they did. But let's
Sarah
talk
Jessica
about
Parker,
that.
Not as ditzy in this.
No, and listen.
Kathy Najimy.
Not gonna say
Kathy Najimy
she is just
Mary.
A joy.
She is fantastic.
She looks great. They all look great. But let's get into Act 1, then we'll talk about them. Act 1. We are led to, I think, 1663 Salem by a sexy red-winged blackbird, or some blackbird. Maybe it's a crow with red wings. I don't know. And sexism is in full force with a young Winifred Sanderson on her birthday. After her sisters invented Jell-O, she refused to marry a dude because she wants to marry Billy Butcherson. Her pet spider that has no relevance going forward or from the past, anyway, lands on the Reverend Trask by chilling on his sleeve. They think it's the devil. The town is in chaos because a female used the power of choice. The Sanderson sisters flee to the woods, where they are met by the witch mother, who's Gorge. And if you watch Ted Lasso, this is a treat for you guys. I did. She's just a joy. Anyway, she tries to first eat them, because you hear the song, the Come Up. Yeah, but she senses power in Winifred, and she explains witches and covens and gives her the black magic book, proving the rumor of the devil giving it to her to be false, or a continuity error. Witch Mom warns of the dangers of the power spell, the Magicae Maxima, or whatever the hell. So we definitely know it'll come back later. A witch is nothing without her coven. They set Salem on fire as Hocus Pocus 2 flashes on the screen. Present day Salem, and it's Becca's birthday, our new main character. She and her friend Izzy have witch rituals, birthday rituals planned, and their former friend Cassie tries to connect with them. She's too cool now with her boyfriend Mike, the lovable idiot. She tries to curse him. Becca tries to curse him while they're taking a quiz, and he gets detention. I don't know if she gets in trouble. We meet Mayor Trask, descendant of Reverend Trask, played by the same character. He's actually a really nice guy, and the dad of Cassie. Now to the magic shop, which is the old Sanderson house, repurposed again. And the owner, Gilbert, does a magic show history of the Sandersons. He gifts Becca with a black flame candle, kind of just a candle, like a glob of shit with a wick.
Wax
Becca
is what you're
and Izzy,
looking for.
Yeah, Becca and Izzy do the birthday ritual. They light the candle once again, bringing the witches back to life, where they promptly sing a song for some reason.
What if at Disneyland, if they had a Hocus Pocus like attraction, that would be embarrassing for anybody involved if they end up lighting the candle. Because then it'd be, oh, you're a virgin.
Yeah, so Christian, you might.
And then somebody might walk up and go and light it.
Refrain from going there.
It wouldn't. Oh, walks up. Joel walks up.
That's not lighting for me.
Joel walks up and it lights. It lights. I swear, I've had sex.
There was two things that I thought for sure. I was like, okay, and then it pleasantly was like, oh, well, good for them. I'm glad they didn't do that. 2 times, 2 dudes I thought for sure were going to be the bad guy, or at least like a more douchey character than what they were. Mike, who truly is just a dumbass, but he really doesn't.
He's a jock.
Yeah, but he doesn't, like, he's likable. Like he's not mean-spirited. Like in the end, like he doesn't even realize he's making fun. Like he truly doesn't realize that he's kind of bullying and
making fun of somebody. What does he say? Pointing out things about people and calling them weird.
Yeah.
What I wanted to say about this whole opening thing though is like,
go ahead.
I was this whole
Talk
time.
About
this
it.
whole
I gotta let the dog out.
Opening thing here with Salem and the 1600s, couldn't help to think that maybe it would have worked better if they went more 1666 Fear Street.
Oh.
Not like that, but like
crossover,
darker, like more, laid it on more heavily of, made it more, little more serious, like toned down the theatric, the community theater style acting that you see with the girls and with, the Reverend or whatever. And I just feel like that the whole thing was over the top. I think it would have been a little bit more effective if they darkened it a bit and like made them really go after these girls and, like.
Yeah, but Joel, we're talking about Disney.
I know we're talking about Disney, but they could have, I don't know, made the stakes higher for them, or made it feel a little bit more like they were in danger, or they had to find a way out, a little bit more so than what was presented to us. Motivate them a little more to get to heed the witch mother's teachings.
Yeah,
or,
I would have.
You know what I'm saying, like, I don't know, just raise the stakes a little bit and get rid of the community theater level acting. Like, I'm sorry, the 3 girls, maybe with the exception of Winifred, the 3 girls at the beginning, I just,
I thought the girls were fine.
I thought they captured.
Particularly Winnie.
Okay.
Winifred.
I thought Sarah did great.
Okay, Mary was over the top, though. The whole lip thing was all over the place. It was constant. It's like, that's not, you don't,
we're talking
we get
about
it.
Kids.
But that's exactly something you'd find in community theater. Like, okay, I just thought of an example from my personal life experience. Mm-hmm. My very first role on stage was Sleepy,
Annie
the dwarf.
Zuko.
Oh, go fuck yourself. Was Sleepy, the dwarf from Seven Dwarfs. And so I was just yawning all the time, and that's a prime example.
Okay.
It's like, okay, we get it.
What's my line?
It was more of a caricature than a performance, is what you're saying.
Line?
Yeah, exactly.
Joel, you're an idiot. You just yawn. That's your line. That's all you do. If you say
I
line
remember
again,
a
you're
line.
off.
I remember a line. You want me to say it?
Is it?
No, it's whatever shall we do with
Yep,
you,
there it
dopey?
is.
I was
You're
going to
welcome.
say,
Kill him.
when you're like, my very first role in theater, I was going to go, Mary Sanderson. Okay.
No, yeah, that's all valid. I don't understand the spider bit.
Teenager.
I don't
The
understand
spider.
that, but
Yeah, exactly. That
like
was another
why
thing.
that wasn't a callback
Well,
to anything, right?
Couldn't they have tied in that showing them as children in the beginning? Because that's what kind of kickstarts the whole. You get a sense that it's going to turn into a redemption thing by showing them as children, like the innocence of children,
Yeah.
sort of thing. And they're the ones being harassed, and that gets into. I don't know. They're being judged by super judgmental, hyper
Catholic,
Christian conservative community, which the Puritans.
Yeah, I'll say I love that opening shot though. Like that bird, that looks great. Like I'm a big fan of
that
birds.
CGI was okay. That's one of the better effects of the movie. Everything
we'll
else,
talk about that later.
Yikes!
But
yeah,
Hannah,
which mother?
what's her name? Hannah Waddingham.
Which mother?
She's
to
the witch
me?
mom. She's just
Who's what?
her.
Spencer just popped a
Which
cherry.
She's
Oh yeah.
She's a babe, dude. She's
Well,
she's a hot witch.
we thought that she looked a bit like a porn star. Like
And?
this was like she hopped out of a Hocus Pocus porno. But
Hocus Pocus, yeah.
yeah, maybe. And I
My
didn't know the
covenant's gone,
actress, so
I'm open
forgive
for
me. But
business. Yeah, she's from Ted Lasso. She's the main character. She's the team's owner. She
Okay.
is great. And I bet you these three girls, the young girls, I bet you they're in the final season of Stranger Things. Yeah,
No,
that's what. Yeah, probably young actors, or they're going to be in a
That's what-
Star Wars movie, a prequel, Little Ray, and the girl that plays young Winifred is going to be Little Ray.
I don't want
to
to see that.
Present day though, the other guy who I was presently surprised, Mayor Trask, and I thought for sure because he was played by Hale, is it Tony Hale?
Tony, what is he in?
And he's a
Can you
descendant. He's
enlighten
Forky.
us?
He's the voice of Forky.
Okay,
In Toy
now
Story 4.
Okay,
But
that sounds familiar.
I was like, okay, they did this on purpose to show A, that they're descendants, and B, he's going to be the same type of character. But he is not. He's just a nice guy that's running for mayor or, campaigning a little bit.
Right.
He's a nice guy. He just wants a fucking apple. That's it. And he wants everybody to have a good time.
The nicest.
He wants everybody to have a good time.
He's the nicest, most sincere politician ever put to film. Maybe.
I
He
think
really
he's a little
is.
bit cringe, actually. I think
Well,
Trask.
he reminds me of you, Joel.
But that's
And I don't
better than
say-
being.
That's funny
corrupt.
because I immediately thought, oh man, why did they put Christian in the movie? So.
No. Joel, I'm not saying that to be mean. His mannerisms.
I was. My knee-jerk reaction is just hurling insults at you.
Yeah. He turns into Creed. Fuck you. Fuck you.
You know what? Fuck your family, Christian. Whoa, dude. It was
Joel.
a mayor joke.
What was that?
It was Creed, the Creed slap.
Oh, the way that he says things reminds me of you, Joel.
How so?
Like when he's
Except
in
much
line
more
waiting for the
positive and
apple
happy.
in Act 2. He's like, "You ever been to this place? Oh, it's fantastic. Oh."
No, I'm not getting Joel at all. Again, I'm getting more Christian, and I don't mean that as an insult. But
Really?
I'm with Joel here. Oh yeah.
Yeah, like grasping for things to talk about and being very invasive with your conversation. Yeah.
And being just obsessed with the one thing that you want to get, like you with your Xenomorph video game 3 or whatever.
Oh.
Him with his apple. I can't pronounce
It's
it. But you know what I
actually
mean.
Xenoblade Chronicles
There.
3.
What if they put a xenomorph in that game? Would it be the same
I'm not
game?
gonna lie. Okay, sidebar,
Oh,
guys.
fuck.
I beat that game last week. I think. I don't think I've ever played a game that's made me cry more than that.
Because it was so hard.
I mean, no, because it was legitimately heart wrenching in moments, and it kind of resonated with my life. And the game's themes are all about life and relationships and what do we live for and what do we
Kinda like
fight
Madden.
for? Why are we fighting? But no, it legitimately hit me at moments.
Okay.
It got me teary-eyed.
You heard it here. Christian's stamp of approval on Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Yep.
So,
Play it,
Xenoblade
everybody. You don't need to play the first
3.
two. It's not required.
Xenoblade...
But
Anyway.
but the mayor, he's just a good fella. And
I kinda
Gilbert actually turns out to be kind of the
bad. Well, not.
He's just a fanboy. He's a fanboy.
He's a simp.
He's the one that
Simp,
had
yeah.
kind of the sinister plot. Of
Yeah.
all the three dudes.
But he's not
of all the
bad.
three dudes.
didn't
He's
really
just like,
mean
I
for it
just
to be a
wanted to
plot,
see
I don't
him.
think.
He's
Yeah,
like, I
but he
just
knew they
wanted
were-
to see him.
He was
Right.
fanboying, bruh.
But I'm saying of all those three guys, he actually ends up being the worst one. And you thought it would be the opposite. Because you have Jock, unintentional, but bully. But that's not really a bully. And then the mayor that's you'd think would be corrupt, but he's not. He isn't at all.
Yeah,
That's like Joel.
they set you up to think that way because of the whole Reverend thing. And him being the
Right.
descendant.
And I
Yeah.
think I like that. I appreciate it because it shows just because that's his family and his past doesn't
Mhm.
mean that he has to be like that.
Right.
So I
Your
like
past
that.
doesn't
His
define
family's
People are-
changed
People are
And they use that
individuals,
as
yes.
as a plot device for Winifred.
It's like-
that's he's a descendant. Go kill him.
It's like the Thor and I am not my grandfather sort of idea. The Rey, I'm not my grandfather. I'm not a Palpatine. I'm a different individual. That sort of
That's
thing.
a stretch, but yeah.
There are some.
My
We'll get into it
grandma,
later.
good man.
We get some Tross moments in this movie too. We'll get to that in Act 3. But I got some Halloween Town Calabar vibes from the mayor. Like they set you up to think he's like pretending to be goody sort of.
Yeah, but
But it's not. As for they set up a really poorly executed plot later down the
doing a
line.
mic check.
Oh,
A what? I was making sure my level was good. Sorry.
They do this really poorly implemented B plot about the three witches. I'm getting ahead of myself. About the three girls, the three teenagers, being friends, and one of them isn't their friend anymore. There's some drama, high school drama going on
It's a
because
classic, not
she doesn't
original.
hang out with us, and it does more explaining of that relationship than it does showing how that happened. Like you could have shown that happen in the movie.
Yeah,
Versus having to talk us through it.
That was
exposit
really jarring
the
how
rest of the movie.
they like right off the bat were hit with this. We're not talking to her. You know, like, okay, why the fuck do we care? Like, why do we care about whatever's going on?
We don't care yet.
You know?
Yeah,
Exactly.
but they don't have time. That's not important enough. So they have to get to the.
They don't
birthday
have
ritual.
time, but we have
Sure.
time to watch the mayor pine after an apple.
Yes,
The
we have to
mission
show that he
for
really
the
is.
apple.
Just has one. Hey,
One
he's got
man,
one thing on his
one
mind.
apple.
I had
And
to
that's
go
an
get this
apple.
thing in the dark.
Yeah, it's right.
Those apples, though, I'll say those apples.
What
look
Walgreens doesn't
delicious.
have their lights on?
Like
That is me.
I've always wanted to have like a legit gourmet
Got the
caramel
gothic
apple
Golden
with all the
Girls in
bells
my
and
Dude,
garage.
whistles
right?
with
'Cause
whistles.
I swear to God, those like 3-pack store-bought ones. It's
Garbage.
like, yeah, the apple's
they
not
matzo
even ripe
balls?
or something. You bite
No.
it like
I want a
it's terrible.
gourmet one with M&Ms and sprinkles and the whole
A
works.
fresh fucking apple would be nice too.
Like,
but,
bro.
yeah.
I want a poison apple.
I want to make one.
Like
Why? What? Like
What?
an actual poison one?
When the snow reveal that they're poison apples.
And she's like, okay,
amateur.
great.
Okay, that's
Again,
in
the
Act
witches
2.
know too much, but then there's stuff that they don't
No,
realize. Like,
That doesn't really bother me, though. That doesn't really bother
It's
me.
fine. It's
Can we talk
comedy.
about
You still get that sense of discovery from them.
Their
They don't
entrance.
know what hand lotions are. Their entrance is...
And then what's the singing? The random song?
Right. The witch is back, and it's like
And then it cuts off. It's an
that
Elton
whole
John song.
John. It's like, okay, so we've waited
they
all
singing
these
to?
years
Yeah.
to see them back on the
Yeah.
screen, and then we get them starting off with a fucking Elton John parody cover.
On a
just right
set
up
that's
off the
not
ground,
that
like-
impressive. Yeah.
I don't know about that. It's like let's
You're
ease
making
into
fun
it.
of that. Again, that goes back to the whole. It's like watching Kiss or the Rolling Stones on stage when they're not in their prime anymore. And the actresses, they're great. I like them all. They do a good enough job. They do a good job. But this comes across as
Old
50
women
years
trying
later,
to be young, and it's gross.
comeback tour. 50 years later, comeback tour.
Just kidding.
And it's not that impressive. You can hear the fatigue, the strain on Bette Midler's voice over the years, how it's gotten more raspy, horsey.
Yeah, but
If
she's
that's-
still great.
She is, though. She is. But you can hear the age in the voice.
Oh yeah.
Whether or not that's a good or bad thing, that's
I
up
think it's
to
good.
the person watching to decide. But
I think
was
they
not
went a little overboard.
the
with
song.
Sarah's
The song.
makeup.
I do.
There's
too.
a lot of
eye makeup.
controversy.
There's not
with that,
enough
yeah.
eyeshadow though. There's not enough like around the.
Oh, I think
eye.
there's too much. Like
Her
it right
eyebrows
here.
are too big.
It connects with the eyebrow.
Yeah,
that's the
what it
issue.
is.
Right.
It what?
Yeah.
Yeah, like in the first one, she looks great. And then in this one, they did not capture the same look.
I think if you watch the first one again, you'll notice that her eyeshadow is like way darker, like around her eyes. Whereas in this
Maybe
one,
that's
it's
what it did
mostly
need,
limited.
more of it. Because it was just
Right.
eyebrows. I'm like, are her eyebrows really?
Right. Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's whatever. It's fine.
Winifred's
She's a witch.
buck teeth. That's a problem for me. They toned her teeth way down. Did you guys notice that?
Boo.
Well, because she's older, it's probably harder to talk.
She filed them down.
Yeah, I mean, 30 years underground can do that to you.
Mary's great. The only
She's got
thing
a
with
great
Mary,
dentist in hell.
people criticize her mouth as being on the wrong side. Her
It is.
thing.
She said that because it was hard
Well-
for her to do it on the other side.
Well, after you see the opening scene with the little one going, you get a little confused, don't you?
Maybe that's to set up that she.
You're
she
making
goes
fun
both
of a
ways.
child.
Yeah,
Oh well.
act better.
You're going to tell that to a baby?
This is
She's not a
Hollywood,
baby.
kid.
She's like 12. There's been
But-
12-year-olds nominated for. There's been 8-year-olds nominated for Oscars.
Exactly.
So what is their goal? What is their goal when
Step
they
up
get
your game. Just
brought back? When they get brought back, is it to become
To
youth
take
again
over.
and kidnap the children again? Is
no,
that
it's
the thing?
It's to live forever.
yeah.
I can't
and then
remember
They gotta
Act One.
get the various ingredients, and so
So I do like how they do that at the beginning. Like, oh, okay, so it is just going to be a retread. They're trying to make the potion again and suck the youth out and blah blah blah. But then
They
it
pivot.
switches gears later on, and it's kind of funny how we're in modern day, so they don't understand the concept of revitalizing hand lotion or body lotion. How
That
it
part
makes
grossed
you
me out.
young again. It makes you
That's
young
in
again.
Act 2. That's in Act 2.
Oh,
If you want to
I'm
talk
getting
about
ahead
that,
of
we can go
myself.
to Act 2 if you'd
I'm
like
getting
to
ahead
talk
of
about
myself. Well, what else is there? I feel like we're skipping over some stuff,
that. It
but I could be wrong.
foreshadows
It
that
foreshadows
Becca's going to be magic right off the bat because
she. What is the
birthday
curse
ritual?
that she put? Well, that coincides with Winnie's birthday. I just noticed
Yeah.
that. And was that her
Yeah.
16th birthday as well?
she didn't look 16.
No, she didn't. She looked maybe 13.
She's like 12, 13.
But yeah, and did she? What was the
same.
spell, quote unquote, the curse that she put on the football player nerd? Whatever.
She said she was just listing off vegan food.
Oh,
Seitan. I don't know what that is, but she was like, I was just listing off. And then here's the thing: why does he get in trouble? He was freaked out, legitimately,
because he was involved in the conversation.
Yeah, but that doesn't deserve detention,
dude. I've had that.
I did way
I've done
worse
that
in
to.
high school.
I've done that to some of my friends before in high school, where I would be the one flapping my yap, and my friend would. My friend was the one that got sent in the hall.
Oh yeah, I bet you felt good about that.
You were one of those guys.
See, you didn't
bitch.
shut the fuck up even back then. You got other people in trouble. You get us in trouble with ourselves for making us stay up later than we need to because you don't shut the fuck up on this show.
Once in middle school in band, I was talking, and me and my friend Brandon got sent out in the hallway. You met him, my friend Brandon Obina. We got sent out in the hallway, both of us. And then in the high school, I was talking to my friend Justin, and then he got sent out in the hall, and I didn't.
I was always the one that got sent out in the hall, although I deserved it. There was one time, eventually in high school, like you build the relationship with like the teachers and the stuff, and they like you, and they do have favorites, like they do. So there was one time, me and one of my buddies, it was a computer class, and there was one computer where the internet was not blocked on like a game site.
Oh no!
So we would always like try to race to get that one. And this day, like we raced it jokingly, like we're pushing each other, and like almost knocked the computer over as the teacher walked in, and he was mad. He's like, "You got go to the print." So we went to the principal's office and shoot, we're gonna get in trouble. We got into the principal's office. The principal looked at us. He goes, "What are you knuckleheads doing in here?" And we're like, "Well, this is what happened. We were trying to get the good computer that has games on it, and like we almost knocked it over." And he goes, "You can't do that. Just don't do it again. Don't have to come back here, okay, guys?
You had enough of your shit.
I'm not gonna give you any. Like, you guys are seniors, Now get out of here." And we're like, "All right, rock on, dude. Sweet."
Wow. I thought you were gonna be like her Professor McGonagall. Why is it always you two?
That's kind of what it was. And actually, we may have each gotten a lunch detention because, like, he's like, I have to do this. But I don't think he did. I don't think we did.
You don't remember?
It was no big deal. He was like making fun of us for getting caught.
Joel, did you ever get in trouble? Nope, I was the golden boy.
I don't think I got...
One time I dissected a frog. The only problem was it was in math class and we were not doing dissections.
No, I don't think I don't think I did. Well, I mean, I'm sure there's been times where I've been reprimanded, but
what about in college?
People don't get in trouble in college.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember
trouble in audio class?
Christian.
No.
Christian, were you in that one class? No, you were never in a class. Oh my gosh. Do you ever remember? You wouldn't. I wish you did. There was a kid, his name, for the sake of privacy, his name rhymed with barley, and he was like this kind of kid that was like kind of artsy, but also like I'm like, I don't want to make him mad. But anyway, one day in class, it was Professor Zach's class, like the sweetest
Suzanne,
professor, my favorite of all time.
Very nice woman.
He was in this group as a group project, and they were like talking, and then he got mad because they weren't like listening to his input or something. And he slammed one of the computers down, slammed the door open, and left. Like, he slammed the computer down. He was like, "Fuck this," and left. And then we were just like, and he did not come back to the class.
What did Suzanne do?
Not a whole lot. She was just like, and the girl, like, I felt bad for her. You know her, Christian. I can't remember her name, but you'd know her. And she was just like, I felt bad for her because she was almost crying because she's like, I don't know why he did. Like, we were just telling him, we were listening to him, but we were kind of telling him the direction we were planning to go with the project, and he just disagreed with it and thought we weren't listening to him. Like, she was shook, and I was like,
And he never came into class again?
No.
How would I know her?
Because she was a film student. I cannot think of her name. You've been on projects with her. I can picture her. I just cannot think of her name.
All right.
Anyway,
you want to go to Act 2 yet?
Please.
Okay. Act 2.
All right.
Winifred calls, but he's chained up in the magic shop. The teens tell them that they're 40 and they eat souls all the time to stay young. They take them to the local Walgreens and have them drink perfumes and essential oils, and they pitch them on their multi-level marketing scheme. No, I saw essential oils and just assumed.
You know
the
a lot
witches
about
turn
that.
They turn on them after realizing they were tricked. Becca forces a force field we think is from the salt. Stay tuned. They get away. The witches fly off on a toy broom, a Swiffer, and some Roombas. Becca and Izzy go to Gilbert and tell him what's up with the witches, and he opens the book and shoots a beam that he can see. Remember, we couldn't see the beam in the last one, but he can see. Whatever. His plan was to bring the witches back. It was his plan. The witches arrive and end up in Gilbert. Gilbert reveals that he saw them in '92 when he was a kid. He saw them because plot and convenience. We saw him explode and become a fan. We get a flashback. They recognize Mayor Trask as a descendant of the. He's a lawyer.
Slow down.
As the descendant of the Reverend. Okay. Winnie decides she's going to do the power spell. Book disagrees. They give Book a big actual character in this. They give Gilbert the task of gathering ingredients. Gilbert meets Billy Butcherson, and Becca and Izzy try to reach Cassie to warn her about the witches. They're trapped in the basement. Billy reveals he only kissed Winifred one time, and Gilbert lies to him about wanting to kill Winifred. Becca's power is revealed when they light the angelic herbs, I think they're called. I don't know. The pot, the marijuana. They light the marijuana to get free from the witch house. The Sandersons end up in a drag-type costume contest to Joel's admiration and a representation win for the community. Winnie does her signature curse song to bewitch the town. I say, it's your bye, huppa davy, huppa die. They lead their new army. Along the way, we see a couple watching the devil scene from the first Hocus Pocus as a tribute, but this means there was a documentary, right? There's documentation on this scene. The witches get to Cassie's house where Becca and Izzy are. The mayor gets flash mobbed by the villagers under the spell, and they do nothing. They just fall out of their spell. And he gets the apple taken away, and he doesn't deserve any of this, truly. Billy and Gilbert, or Bilbert, as their couple name will be known, try to win a spider. There's too many plot lines going on, for real. But just, okay?
No.
There doesn't need to be that many. Becca and her friends trick the witches into a salt circle they can't escape from. Gil takes Bill's head after his actual plan is revealed. Cassie and Becca and Izzy argue, and Mike realizes he was an unintentional bully and feels bad and plans to apologize to people. Good for him. Mayor Trask comes home confused and doesn't follow up on an elderly women in his garage. He leaves them be. The Roombas clean the salt, and the witches capture Cassie. Yeah.
All right. So I thought the Roombas being established early, they use the Roombas because Mary flies on a vacuum cleaner in the first film 30 years ago.
Right.
Now, modern day, we're on Roombas, and I heard about that months ago from the teaser image. Someone's like, she literally riding Roombas. Like,
yeah.
They're like her
and
pet
I'm thinking,
in this too.
That shit is hilarious.
Her broomies, yeah.
It is. It is.
Her broomies. That's great.
No, and
I love how that. Go ahead.
Yeah, the Walgreens thing.
I'll let you go
I
first.
thought that was great. Like, that was classic. You know, like
Yeah, it went on
them
too long
having
for
their
me.
own elf moment with the fucking lotion, sitting
Yeah.
there eating it like yogurt, and just
Eating
like Buddy
the
the Elf
face
sprays
films.
perfume,
Yeah.
it, you know, and yeah,
Grossed me
Mary
out.
with the skin masks, the exfoliating
Yeah.
whatever,
The face
and
of
then
a
she just-
child. It's an infant.
Yeah, face of an
And
that whole
she
scene.
pops up behind him. Yeah, dinner for 3. Or whatever
What is she?
does.
What is she? The water boy now?
H2O.
Oh my god.
Wait. What if I said that we need the head of the budget thing so we could complete the potion so we can live forever? Yes. Okay. Thanks. Are these the children that you're feeding your players? Yeah, I guess they're teenagers. I will do this for no charge. I will be your children capture. I don't know, man. Anyway, Adam Sandler, Hocus Pocus 2.
Speaking of Billy Butcherson, though,
Oh, much better role in this movie. Much expanded.
okay,
He
speak
can
for
talk.
yourself. The
What?
role,
Better than the
the
first one.
scope of the role is better, but I'm sorry, dude, but
He does not
decide what
capture it.
accent you're going with. For
Yes.
one thing,
Oh,
I mean, this was
come
like
on.
at moments he was some cheap
on,
dead
Joel.
knockoff of Jack Sparrow or something, and
Oh,
it was bad. It was bad in some moments, and
I did not get that at
thought-
all.
Doug Jones is great, but
No,
maybe don't give him too many lines.
my favorite part was
Don't let
when
him talk.
My favorite part is when he
Wham.
leans in.
Perfect.
Oh shit, he's not that character. Never mind. We proved that wrong. That he wasn't the guy from Revenge of the Sith who goes like, "They have thousands."
that's Bruce Spence, you dumb.
You're not dumb.
Just kidding.
Thank you.
Can we?
He is
so what-
Winifred.
So what? I forgot to mention my favorite joke in this entire thing was in Act 1. I have to mention it because each time I saw it, I got an actual chuckle. It's when, which again, I appreciated this, that Mike was like, yeah, you guys are coming. The whole class is invited, like, to the party. He's inclusive. Like, he's like, yeah, come to this party. He's not like, no, we don't want you there. But anyway, my favorite part is when, like, yeah, even Glenn's coming. Hey, Glenn. And then he just goes, what? And he goes, it's Glenn.
You go, Glenn.
No,
Glenn.
I would
that.
be Glenn. I'm Glenn or Joel. Or Joel.
Yeah, Joel's Glenn,
Mm.
the vampire.
I
But I just
also
love how it's Glenn. What? Classic Glenn. Like, what? Anyway, back to Act 2.
I noticed
Okay.
Mary
What else?
actually has some really funny little blink and
Oh
you
my
miss it
gosh.
moments, like right there at the beginning with the fucking barks at her. All right, and then
Callback.
you got to listen closely, otherwise you'll miss her fart going into Walgreens. This
Oh
little,
yeah, I was like,
like
what the fuck was that? I
when they think
rewinded
the door's
to hear
magic,
that.
and then Mary's
Yeah.
the last one to hobble in and goes, you know, like okay, they fucking threw a fart in there. Like,
Why?
Oh, a fart joke.
Is she
Sweet.
the Yopi of this movie?
I
Why?
don't.
yeah, it did remind me of one
It
of those
reminds
YouTube
me-
videos where they dub in the farts to you know.
I guarantee you they thought that was funny probably in the sound mix in the editing phase.
The sound
They're
guy's
we
like,
can put
"Here's
something in
audience."
there.
You know,
8-year-olds.
Dude, it
Throwing a fart
reminded me
joke.
of the season premiere of Game of Thrones or House of the Dragons.
I can't.
when-
No, don't.
This is not a spoiler.
hold on,
Fine.
you
What's
haven't
the guy?
seen any episodes.
Joel. What's the guy?
No.
Matt
What the
Smith's
fuck, bro?
character.
You gotta-
Damon. When he
I'm
leads
gonna.
when he leads the Gold Coats to massacre the people of Redfall or whatever the fuck it's called, Red Keep. I don't know. And that guy points and he goes, "Raper!" And he's like, "What? No, not me!" And then they pull the guy's fucking pants down and they show his naked butt with a fart sound.
Oh, they do.
Like, I'm not even kidding. Yes.
Oh, I didn't catch
Go
that.
back and listen
All right.
to it. I was I walked into the room. It was that scene. My sisters were watching it, and that scene happened. Pulls the pants down, naked.
Probably because he was scared.
Fart.
He's nervous.
Why? I know, but it just took. Why?
Anyway,
they're making
farts
a funny
don't belong
moment out of a terrible
in
deed.
Movies. I don't know.
But anyway, that's just funny.
If they're done right.
Dude, I have some other moments of Mary.
I have a Mary
When
moment. It doesn't make any sense when she says "surfs up, cowabunga." She shouldn't know what surfing is.
Yeah, is
and
this
she
Batman
shouldn't know
and
the word
Robin?
TMNT.
cowabunga.
What's going
Yeah.
on? Like, yeah.
That was yeah.
Like she knows what surfing is,
okay.
but she doesn't know what hand lotion is. So
Now that we're on that, this is what I was talking about earlier about how the characters seem to be warming, or the actresses seem to be warming up back into their roles, because when they do the thing through the aisleway at Walgreens, when they're like back and forth, like I looked at Mary during that scene, and it looked like she wasn't like fully into it, like she wasn't fully into the movement.
Speaking of getting back into it, that's my first clip. If you want to take a look at it.
Sure.
Yep. So this is a little blurb. This is from their interview on CBS this morning, or CBS Mornings, whatever. Here we go. Getting back into it.
Go ahead. Play it.
Well, it's not going to work right now.
Is this one of those things where we pretend?
Keep talking.
I can put the clip in.
Reinsert it.
Yeah.
Move on to the next thing here.
Well, the next thing.
The thing I wanted to finish saying. Sorry, Spencer.
You're good.
Two things. The warming back into their characters and the visual effects. First part, what I just said about not being or looking
one's
like
good,
she's really into it. Second part is that it comes off as they're trying to imitate their performances or their characters close to caricature like, but not quite. They're trying to imitate how they were in the first movie at this stage of the movie before they get better later into the movie. Cause you get like, oh, she like does this total like wind up slap cartoon slap thing that you would totally be able to anticipate. And,
they do a lot of that.
miss, fan service moments. Really, like when Mary's like, "Do you want me to hit? You can hit me, Winnie. Okay, you want to hit me? Okay." And then she slaps her hand. It's like that was from the first movie. Okay, that's another. We're getting the jokes from the first movie here.
Yeah,
and then just sisters, we must fly, and then that leads into the visual effects. The visual effects in this movie are very subpar compared to the first one.
They're worse than subpar. They're not good.
They are not good at all.
Like the green screen on the flying, like.
Oh, it's awful.
All right, here we go. Getting back into the role.
Oh, here's the clip.
Here's the clip.
Here's the clap.
Back into these characters. Water off a duck's back.
Yeah.
Really?
It's like muscle memory, but it's also complicated for a second because the more you know, the more you realize what you need to know. Mm-hmm. Well, how do I walk, or how do I move,
she
or how
so
do I rest my hands here?
Without all the witch makeup.
I just did this.
We're young.
Yeah,
I bet that mouth thing was a choice she wished she didn't make for the character. I gotta do that again. That hurt. I gotta do it on the other side now.
So I guess there's a degree of complexity.
Was Adam Sandler's Waterboy.
Yeah,
I kind of have to disagree. I know they're the characters, they're the actors who portray the characters. They know them more than I do, but that is not the sense that I got from their performance at this stage of the movie. To me, it felt like an imitation of what they did in the first movie before they get in later in the movie and it becomes more natural and more enjoyable. It was more of a kind of an imitation this part around. And yes, the visual effects were not good. The lightning looks terrible.
Fine.
Compared,
I thought the lightning was fine.
The lightning looked terrible. It looked like a pixelated JPEG effect in some
See,
in
I'm
some
not-
parts. In
I
some
would
parts,
disagree there.
in the
flying,
Walgreens,
though,
in the Walgreens, the flying was bad.
was
The flying was
atrocious.
bad, and that took it out. That is what I saw before I even watched the movie. I saw the clip that they put on YouTube or on Facebook of the flying scene, and I was like,
it was worse than the
"Oh
first one.
no! Oh no! If it looks like this, that
Like,
is
and
not
here's
a
the
good
thing.
sign."
Here's the thing. It looks like one of those, like when you do the green screen filter, like on
Yeah.
an Instagram video where it like cuts in and out and you go out of focus. I'm like,
It's not good,
that's not good.
and it ruins the comedy of the Broomies
Mhm.
in that
Yeah.
moment. It ruins it by how bad it looks. And
it's like
just
all their
kinda
budget
sad.
went to
It's just
everything
kinda
else. and they're
sad.
Like, shoot,
I will
we have
say
to have
that
them fly.
when Cassie gets taken at the end of the act, when she swoops in and takes her, that was a really good looking effect.
Because it's quick.
If you go back and watch it, very well done there. But then it goes back to being slightly good, but still not as good as the first movie. In the scene immediately following that, then it goes back to the green screen effect.
Oh,
Yikes!
atrocious. It took me out of it.
The lightning, I think, looks way better in the first one because you get that Return of the Jedi Palpatine lightning effect vibe. In this one, it just looks the effect just looks muddy to me.
I thought that looked fine. The flying was the thing that really, I was like, no, guys, was this like last minute? You forgot? Shoot, they have to have a scene where they fly. It looked rough.
And this is the part, and they go back to the Sanderson house. They go back and see Gilbert because he opens the book.
They
and
meet
we
the
get
cat.
the whole they meet the cat Cobweb, which
And they
can't
think it's
be
Binks.
Thackeray. That can't be him though.
Cobweb. I thought
they want you to
they
make
were-
you think it is, but
Well, they did so much. Like, oh, the cat's gonna be a. The cat doesn't do anything.
I mean,
It's like,
it shows
hey-
her where the book is.
Right.
It's like, hey, there's a black cat in this one too. And
Well,
it's like, oh,
I
I
would
want to like
prefer
the
that.
cat.
I don't want to retread
But I
the whole
couldn't.
Thackeray thing.
No, but I'm saying then don't show the cat a couple times, but they emphasize the cat a lot. Like, is he going to talk? No, nothing.
That's
The
because
cat
it's
doesn't do
nostalgic
anything.
iconography,
Yeah,
with the
but
cat.
I don't know, man.
and it plants
know.
that seed that is it him? Is it him?
No.
For fans to
Mhm.
chew on. But I didn't. I thought so. That's the scene where I feel they start to begin acting as the three Sanderson sisters in earnest again. Like when she yells at Sarah, "Pick it up and don't drop it like you once did, like you just did." Like that made me laugh. Like you start to get those
Yeah.
little quips there.
I guess I was confused by why the book got left behind. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
to just for
Why
them
didn't
to
because
they
it wasn't
find
the
it.
book?
obeying.
Like I don't know.
It wasn't obeying.
Yeah.
There was no what?
It was obeying. It
was
wasn't obeying her.
She told
So they left
oh,
it because they had what they needed. They were going to come back.
Well,
And
yeah,
she's
and
like, fine.
she put it back on the shelf and said, "Just remember to come when I call."
Right. I
And
don't
then
know.
Joel's
She like,
like, I already did. See,
Yeah.
there he is.
So, yeah, I thought I made you a list, Gilbert.
What's the What's
Your life
the, I don't.
depends on it.
So it's a nice little tribute, but it's also really confusing that they put the actual scene from the first movie as a clip in
It's
this
very
movie.
meta.
Like, they're watching it.
Oh,
And again,
let's,
I get it, but how then
We
does
have another-
that work?
that's another. I don't. It's meta. It's just supposed to be
Yeah.
meta. They made a movie out of the Sanderson sister legend,
Yeah.
and that's why they look so accurate to the Sanderson sisters because they probably all watched the movie. That
Joel,
sort of thing.
Elephant in the room. We got to get to your big
Yes,
part.
I was hoping you'd get to this one.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell us how you feel about? It's not really a full drag show because some of them are actual
All right,
women.
let me
One
get
set
into
of
it. I got a
them
whole
are
thing
women.
prepared. First of all,
Other ones
let
are
me grab
men.
something over
Here
here.
we go. He wrote a poem. Me and the Queens. I sit front row.
So, Yes, the contest, the
Watching on.
costume contest where you got the men dressed up as the Sanderson sisters. The 3 that they get to there at the end of it, those are actual professional drag queens that have appeared on RuPaul's Drag Race. The one that plays Winifred, or that is dressed in drag as Winifred, Ginger Minge, I have actually worked with. I have worked with Ginger Minge. So here's a t-shirt
awesome,
that I got from when she was at Hamburger Mary's Grand Rapids. She was like, DJ, grab a shirt. Here, this is yours, free of charge. And so I got some
solid, dude.
Free swag from that. So I met this person. I've worked with this person. So that's why it was funny to me, because I knew you guys were like, yeah, we know what scene you're gonna, it's gonna be your scene. But
did I call
what
it? What did
you do? What did you do when you saw her? Her.
So, and then here's a Instagram.
Sorry.
That's the night of the show when I worked with Ginger Minge. You can see that on my Instagram. Voice of LMB.
Jin Min. She lets me.
She's great.
How? Question.
Probably one of my.
That was my
first. Just a couple more things. That she was my first show working at Hamburger Mary's Grand Rapids. My very first show as a DJ there for
R.I.P. Hamburger Mary's.
I know Hamburger Mary's Grand Rapids did not last as long as we wanted it to.
She was there. How long?
Yeah, maybe a couple of years now. If they still got the Hamburger Mary's Ypsilanti, that's doing well.
Joel, I'm talking about Ginger. How long was Ginger there? Or did she was there for just one,
how the shows
worked
at Hamburger Mary's, and probably still do, is there would be 2 or 3 different show slots. So, you'd have your afternoon show and evening show. And maybe there would be a third one sometimes if it was
afternoon for the
but
weirdos.
It was the same show. So effectively just doing 2 of the same shows. But no, she's very talented, actually. She sings. She's got her own original songs out there. She performed one of them at that show, Gummy Bear. Very catchy tune. You should listen to it. But yeah, that was Ginger Minge. And the other 2, I haven't met and am less familiar with, but those are all RuPaul girls. So I thought that was funny that you were like, oh yeah, you watch that scene.
How did you react?
Because drag.
When that scene came up,
and I worked with one.
When that scene came up, how did you react, Joel?
I just was like, they have no clue.
Were you like, oh
no,
my?
I was like, wait till I tell them that. Wait till they find out that I worked with that person, and like, jokes on them. Like that's what I was thinking.
I'm just imagining you as that Leonardo DiCaprio meme.
Yeah.
Where he's like,
yeah.
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 That's exactly what it was. So that was exciting.
Genevieve, listen. I worked at a place. It's called Hamburger Mary's. I was a DJ there.
She's well aware.
That right there, she was. I worked with her.
Genevieve's actually very jealous queen. That I got to. She's a huge RuPaul's Drag Race fan and was very jealous of me when I was working there because for free, for nothing, just for doing my job, I got to be, hanging out with these
I think that's
superstar drag queens,
so cool.
So yeah, I miss it. But
Joel, you get to do so much cool stuff. You met Ginger, you met the cast of Pokemon, the anime, Eric Stewart.
I know, I'm a privileged SOB, aren't I?
What is the Vanessa? What's her name?
Veronica
Taylor.
Yeah.
The original voice of Ash.
Sat right next to her on stage.
Spencer, they were in Grand Rapids.
Yeah, last
GR's Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Dog, I was just at the book fair and they had the extra super ultimate essential hand guide and it had all 800 some Pokemon.
Yeah.
I legitimately almost bought it.
There's a new game coming out next month too with even more Pokemon.
They had a legendary mythical
guys,
Pokemon handbook. I almost bought that one too.
I don't. Before we wrap up the whole draft, I do have a clip of the.
Of course you do.
Of Ginger Minge kind of diving. I know, Christian, you've brought up kind of like, well, what is the whole influence? What is the whole deal with Hocus Pocus and drag? And this kind of explains it. So hopefully this clip will play. Maybe.
Man, that was a great clip. No, that's very interesting, Joel.
I got it. I got you. I found out that I just have to load them in twice. But
I found out I just have to hit play.
yeah, right.
So you're going to load it in. You're loading it in? Well, we wait for the clip.
Oh, he's loading it in.
I did have a...
Yeah.
When they go to the fair, to find the mayor to get his blood, because their motive at this point is, I'm done peddling potions. We're going to be the most powerful witches, and then nobody can go against us, blah, 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 like power hungry. Revenge, Salem, after what they did.
Right.
I when they're watching the guys get their heads dunked.
Everybody
Here we go with the clip. Hold on.
Here's Ginger Binge.
who's ever been anywhere in the world where there is a Sanderson sister impersonator knows that drag queens tend to do it frequently, and they tend to do it best. So, of course, it would not make sense if there were not a troupe of queens there representing the Sanderson sisters, and that's how we happen to be there when they stumble on the scene.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it's
Solid.
That makes a lot of
Yeah.
sense.
Super freaking cool.
But yeah, so that's my Ginger Minge segment.
I did think it was a little bit forced. Don't get me wrong, not the putting the drag queens in it,
Mhm.
just the way that they showcase it with Winnie walking up and going, lose the teeth, and then the
Yeah, Ginger is like mind your business girl, or
Yeah.
whatever.
I like
and then
the
Winnie does the I didn't
Mary.
like that.
She goes up to the goatee, and what does she say? What does she say?
we are hella good, man, or whatever.
Or sexy witch or something. Foxy.
We're looking damn foxy, aren't we?
Yeah. And I was like, all right. Because you think, it's going to be because she's going to be like, that's what I look like? But she's like, that's what I look like? Yeah,
man.
dude.
I like the inclusion. Don't get me wrong. I like the inclusion. It makes perfect sense, and it's cool. I just thought it was kind of it forced in the sense of doing the Marvel, like all the women in Endgame scene, the girl power sort of thing, in that sort of way, and they showcase it in that sort of way. And it just kind of comes off as forced.
Later in that same interview with Entertainment Weekly, there, what you saw, Ginger does say like the very first words. So Ginger actually was on a special type of season of RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars season 6, and she got down to like the final 4, final 3 there, final group of queens, and didn't end up winning the season. Spoiler alert. Sorry if I ruined that for somebody.
Fuck.
But it's been out for a while, so get on top of it. And so she says one of the first things that that Kathy said to me was, "You got robbed." So like, and all three of them were total fans, and were kind of fangirling of the fact that they had 3 of these highly, high profile drag queens, and they're working with them in the movie. So it's like they were just as much of fans of them. So it's kind of like maybe they had something to do with this, like, hey, let's get Ginger on. Let's get these queens in the movie or something. But maybe
I do like
that.
it's
just kind of like a joke that she maybe not, but.
Well, I think today you couldn't make a Hocus Pocus movie if they were going to do a stage show like this or a competition,
right,
without including drag.
If you're going to write that scene, you're going to have to. That's because it's such.
Right.
It is so ingrained in drag culture.
It's part of the subculture. Yeah.
So that just goes to show, like they treated them very well. They were, they gave them a sense of belonging, so Christian, they belonged there. Okay.
I like it.
Well, they belonged there, but they were kind of forced in.
No, I get what you're saying.
Just the way they shot it, like put a spotlight on it, is what I'm saying. What I want to say next, I love the trophy.
It's going to really piss you off.
When Winifred throws the trophy at the guy, I laughed my butt off. When knocks his ass out. I got Home Alone 2 vibes when the lady falls off the piano.
You know what it is? It's the water boy scene.
And it's so random. It's so random. They throw it. The guy knocks out. Nobody goes to check if he's okay. Nobody does any of that. They go and sing. And the guy walks away. What a witch.
Yeah.
Whatever. But before
How do you guys feel about the song choice?
the song choice it's not as good as I Put a Spell on You.
Now,
Let's
'cause
just get
that's
that out of the way.
straight up on
I
the
will-
nose. They couldn't find another match or like a magic.
Not even Black
I
I
Magic
mean,
song.
Woman.
what other song are you
by
gonna?
Santana?
What other song are you gonna put in
Black
there?
Magic Woman.
What other song? Because they're trying to find him, right? They're trying to go after him, get him. So one
True.
way or another, like
That's fair.
I guess
they're
that's
trying
a
to get
good
the blood of
song
their
choice.
enemy of the mayor.
But I did like how they incorporated more of the crowd and like the dance number, the choreography with the stomping and
Dude.
stuff. I thought that was cool.
That was like the like music video to Thriller type vibes. Was that, that's what that was for me.
But then you get their crappy on brooms effect.
Yeah, unfortunately,
That
which
interrupts
you know,
it.
I played those behind the scenes clips from the first movie of how intricate they made the broom work and like all the rigging and the this and the blah
Yeah,
blah
this
blah.
one, they're
I
like,
know,
yeah, we
and
don't
it's
have time.
nowhere to be
Yeah.
seen
We don't have
except for that
time.
one when she grabs Cassie.
Yeah.
They're too old.
That
Which-
might have been
Although
it.
they could have had stunt doubles slap their face on there digitally.
Slap their face.
Put some people
Well,
on some freaking
hey,
brooms.
If we're talking about the drag queen subject, I'm not going to drag it out.
Ha
I
Drag
thought
it out. I'm not going to drag it out. But what I am going to say, we have yet another example of Disney just plopping in a LGBTQ scene with that couple on the couch watching the original movie. Those
Maybe they
two
were just
guys,
buddies.
those two guys, they were not buddies, Spencer.
You're just assuming they were gay.
I think the
That's almost worse
implication
than
is
just
clear.
Flopping them in there.
But I think we're going to be seeing this for a while
So you're
from companies like
just
Disney,
to clarify.
where
Just
they're
to
not
clarify.
they're not going to lean in on characters being overtly yet naturally members of the LGBTQ community. We're always
Lightyear.
For the next few years we're going to have just
Eh,
little
But
moments like
basically,
this.
what Christian
of
is saying
gay
is he doesn't
characters.
want the gays in his film.
No, it's just another way of appeasing the LGBTQ community with a blink and you'll miss it scene of a gay couple.
okay, so to clarify,
So
just
it's
to
too
make sure,
woke for
just
you.
no,
Got it.
he's not.
No.
let's not put
Joel
let's
knows
not
what
put
I'm
Christian
saying.
in the same
I
category
know
as
what
one
you're
of
saying,
those
too.
people.
I know what.
But
Oh, I thought we could joke. I thought we could mess with each other.
I'm
That's
not
what I got.
against
Listen,
it.
listen.
I'm saying if they want to do that, then make
I
it part
also
of the
know
plot.
what Christian is saying.
but the audience might need some clarification. So this is to like the similar. This is like our feelings.
The Rise
Yeah,
of Skywalker.
similar to the
shit.
Rise of Skywalker, where they just had the random, in the background you see.
They have
Yeah.
a checklist.
They have a
couple
2
check.
second
Got it.
2 second cutaway of
So
two women kissing, and that's
It,
the gay
it doesn't
representation.
feel
of the movie.
genuine, is what we're getting after. If you're going
Right.
to just checklist it, then it's like don't put it in
Right,
the movie.
exactly.
But
Right.
also, I also feel like just having it be casual like that is fine too, because it's not like I don't think that I can't speak for him. I'm not going to go that route. But if you're shoving it, being like, guys, look, the main characters are, then you're like,
I
well,
know.
we don't need
They're
that either.
gay!
We're just
totally get it.
there.
I totally
We're
get what
just
you're saying,
there.
Spencer.
We don't
I
need to
agree
make
with
it
you.
a big production. If
It would be
fits
just-
the story and the characters, the main characters, we decide it makes sense for the story for them to be a part of that community, then we will. But we're not going to force it there either. But we also don't want to make it a big, like, look at us. We're making the main. It's a casual. Like, we're
Okay.
just, they're here. They're real
I understand.
people.
I kind of agree with you a little bit now that you're saying it, because they aren't main characters. They're just side characters watching a movie. But it just came across, the same idea came across to me in that in these Disney movies, we keep getting these cutaway scenes of gay couples just to show, it almost feels like a checklist. But at the same time,
It
you don't
does.
want to shove it in your face, I get it. Because then
'Cause
that
they
would
just
be
wanna
even
exist.
more. That would be even more on the nose. I totally get that. That's
Right,
just how it made me feel.
Make it as
on that
casual
scene.
as you would any other couple.
Guys,
Like, here it is.
I
guess
thought
what? Gay people are real. They're normal and they're regular people.
when they
Not the Christian.
okay,
No.
I'm kind of no. I'm kind of
No,
moving.
you're right. I don't like them, but I do want them represented.
Moving forward or backwards rather. When they're doing the apple bobbing scene, oh how sweet, they're drowning. Like,
Yeah.
let me go get the girls.
Oh yeah, the
She's
broomies
talking
want
about
to
the
see
broom.
this. They'll love this. Yeah.
I love that. That
Yeah.
gave me a crack too. And I love how
Made
them
me want
eating
an
the
apple.
popcorn sets up the salt. Them cleaning up the salt ring later. Because I totally forgot about the broomies, and I was like, okay, that's actually very clever that they did that
Right.
to clean up the salt circle. Very
Right.
funny. The Siri bit was very funny to me. Like, spread out, sisters.
I'm sorry. I didn't get that.
Be serious.
There's a lady trapped in that box.
No,
I
there's
thought
yes,
it's
there
nothing
is.
original. Like, whenever you do like a sequel like this many years later, you have to throw in Siri or Alexa, and the characters are like, "What the fuck is this?
Yeah, but it's
What hast thou done?" You have to. I didn't find it all that.
and then
funny,
them
but I'm like,
screaming. Well, it was like it was supposed to.
That's a
mirror
checklist
them.
thing.
The
Modern
scream was funny
technology,
too.
Check.
Kinda, I get you, but it was funny how they screamed afterwards
Well, you know, it's a ring. Could be a ring theory. Because remember when they're going through the high
with
school,
the fire department.
the radio. No, the radio. They're like, there's a voice. Somebody's
Oh.
talking. Oh, it's just
See?
a radio in the
Ring
kiln.
theory.
Yep.
Oh, we're
But
having
anyway,
technical difficulties.
Ring
so.
theory.
That's okay. I'll
Yeah,
do the heavy
sorry.
lifting
Nothing's
again.
Fucking working tonight, so
That's all right. That's
Yeah,
all
this
right.
plot. There's a bunch of plots. Just to recap,
I know that happens to you quite often. Joel.
yeah.
Gilbert
Yeah,
is
mine always
trying
works
to. Okay, so the main plot here: the witches want to become all powerful. They want to get rid of the mayor, so they need the blood of their enemy, who is the mayor. They get Cassie. There's plot, and then there's the
Because
plot of
her blood is the
Becca
mayor's
turning
blood.
16. She's a witch, discovering herself and her powers. There's plot, and then Gilbert getting them and finding Billy, who just comes back because they needed a cameo. Plus,
Oh, this is where
of an old cast member, and then he has a plot. Oh, you got to tell everybody that. Guess what? We only kissed once. That's not a real thing. So then there's like an F plot, and then there's the cat. It's like a G plot,
you're putting way too much stake into
and
the
then
cat.
the book. That's the
The cat
C plot.
is just a nostalgia reference. It has nothing. There's no side plot with the cat.
I don't know, man.
Just so cross out plot G or whatever you had it.
It was F.
I thank you. No, I didn't. I was not confused by all the plot stuff. I thought the little side C plot with Billy Butcherson and Gilbert was kind of
Dude,
funny.
Side quest.
They're just
When he walks in there and sees him like putting the spell or looking at the hourglass, you lied, and throws the spider down. It makes that
yeah, but
sound.
before that, they were having
That
like a
cracked me up.
genuine bros night. Bros night
Yeah.
on the town.
Yeah, they were.
And it was just
I
Look
wish.
what I found.
Yeah.
I wish it was. If the whole movie was just that, I'd have been fine. We're gonna get a Disney Plus series. Gilbert and Bill.
Gilly and Billy.
And I liked the. I mean,
One's a zombie. One's
He's
a
like,
guy.
yeah, everyone knows the Billy Butcherson legend. You were boyfriend, girlfriend, and who cheated on her with Sarah. What? No. He does all this
Right.
stuff.
No, I only kissed her
Exactly,
one time.
slipped in
He
the-
has sullied my name for eternity.
For eternity. I only kissed her one time.
Well, Doug Jones is English, is he not?
I don't
I don't
fucking know, but I think
He's anything
I
you
think
need
we
him
could
to
have
be.
nailed
But we
down
can all
the,
agree
the
to
accent.
talk.
His makeup is on point.
Yeah, it looked
we
fine.
can all agree
Yeah.
on that.
It's the same wig, he said.
Never washed
The
it.
look is not the thing I have the problem with. You want to go to Act 3?
Yeah, let's do it,
Wrap
bruh.
this up.
No,
Because we still got to rank them.
I know.
I still got my song.
Well, including the whole
It's shorter,
song bit
don't worry.
earlier, I like how they included the incantation, like when he's in line for his apple, and they all like start walking towards him in the circle, and they're still chanting the incantation, whatever that is. I had it up. But
Yeah, what is
Spencer,
it?
you're saying it all wrong, dude.
Yeah, I know it's intentional.
It's Spencer.
It's from the Disney Wiki. So I watched a sing-along video where they had the captions, and it's a little different, but it's I say into pi, appa maybe up and die.
Yep.
In kama koreyama.
Okay.
That's the second part.
I want
Christian
see
had
the
to make
words.
sure we get the incantation correctly. Actually,
It's in book.
You put the emphasis on the ikima. I don't know.
Okay, we missed a total. Okay, before we move on, Spencer's looking up the words of the lyrics. Before we move on, I laughed so hard when they showed her Becca, and I had to look up the names of these girls because I could not remember their names. I
Not that they're
laughed so hard when she was looking for Book, and his eyes like going like this, and then they cut away and they cut back, and it's sweating.
Yeah.
The Book has beads of sweat running down.
So
I laughed my
stupid.
butt off, though. That cracked me
Really?
up so hard.
One bead of sweat
Yeah.
and then Christian's on the fucking floor.
No, because it's like a Key and Peele sketch. When it shows him, sweating superfluously.
You think it's a
in
reference to
one
that
sketch,
meme?
and it keeps cutting back and forth, and then it gets closer and closer, and the eyes like going like this, and then you see it sweating. I was like, the fucking Book is sweating. That cracked me up. I didn't get the joke when the guy was telling his little stand-up bit when he's like, Sanderson, are you Broderson?
Well, I think that's the point. It wasn't a good joke.
And then you
It
hear
was
some guy in the
making fun
background.
of
I don't
standing-
get it.
Yeah, that was the joke.
It's
It
like
didn't make
when
any
you
sense.
hire your uncle to be the MC instead of a professional like me.
Yeah.
that
It's like
happen?
when your uncle tries to exactly right. And I had a hell of a time getting here because I tried flying my broom, but it didn't fit in my butt.
Girl
No,
guy.
but
Girl guy joins us again.
I just
Third
want to
time.
say, all joking
gonna-
aside,
you're
in
gonna put it-
seriousness, I
you're
just
gonna
want
put
to
it in your
say, Sandra, Jonathan, you guys are like family to me. I'm happy for you. We love you to pieces. We're glad you're in the family. Hey, just don't be casting any spells on each other. No, but in seriousness, raise a glass. Your cheers to Sandra and Jonathan. Thank you, everybody.
Great.
You might as well
That's-
just pee in my mouth.
That is a grill guy bit. We just
It is.
A potion? What do you pee? You pee in a bottle? What do you drink it?
Was like magic? Was like magic? Like
No,
Like-
dude. No, dude.
like magic?
Hold on. I'm going to say the spell. Hold on, dude. Hold on. Hold on.
in kind of
Blah, apple
Yeah.
pie.
Hey, well, maybe you should try flying on a broom. Maybe your mother-in-law should get her broomstick.
Yeah.
Hey, hey, babe. Hey,
Real
babe.
guy's
is your,
gonna
is
sue
your
us.
mom coming over? Because she left her broomstick here. No. He's so,
I still
he's got
think
his own podcast.
the fighting with your wife after you left the room bit is funny. Or what, the arguing with somebody. I showed
Everything
you.
he does is
Yeah.
perfect.
Anyway,
It was funny.
All right.
Did you
Real
guys-
guys
did
has
you
had his
guys
own
catch-
podcast. Let's focus on ours.
Let's
Okay.
get him on.
Let's get him
ours.
He
on.
does?
Sure, yeah.
We should have him. We should have him on. That would be hilarious.
It's
Okay.
probably pretty hard to get him. But
I should
okay,
have had
go
Ginger
ahead.
Minge on this
All right.
episode. That would have been something, huh? Yeah, but
that
I didn't
would
have
been
enough
cool
foresight.
if you
so-
could have had contact. Idiot. Fuck. Okay, Act 3. The ingredients are had, and the Sandersons start the magic the
Magic-a-mess.
spell, the big spell. As Becca watches with glowy hands and Izzy. Oh, with glowy hands with Izzy. She's a witch, I guess, because they have to set up a Disney Plus series without
You're a witch, Becca.
the redundant plot of the Sandersons coming back again. Becca zaps Winnie, but she's too weak. Sarah and Mary realize they also have Force Lightning powers as well. You get Force Lightning, and Oprah comes in. She's like, everybody gets Force Lightning and flying broomsticks. They sync with them. What? They sync
You
with them
can't
for a
even
minute?
read your own fucking notes.
No, I'm reading it. It says they play with them, I think. They mess with them.
Are we syncing or playing?
For a few minutes. They play with their
Okay.
zappies. Becca summons the book, which reveals Winnie will have to trade power for that which she values the most. The book chooses Becca because she's like, you have a choice, you book. Sarah, Winifred completes the spell, giving her all the power, but it costs her Sarah and Mary, and she regrets it all immediately. It's actually super sad watching her lose her sisters. She becomes a sympathetic character, so the plot is different enough from the last one. Becca performs the reunite spell that sends Winifred to her sisters through death. She's grateful and ends on a cheerful note this time. Billy and Gilbert come along, and Billy magic dusts away as well. I don't understand how the magic pertains to him too. Becca, Izzy, and Cassie do the witch walk off into the moonlight as that blackbird follows. The sisters sing a song during the credits, and then the post credits shows us Cobweb the cat sit on. This is so stupid because what is it telling us here? But anyway, he sits on a box that says Black Flame Candle number 2, and then it closes up, zooms in on his eye. It confuses. It's set up for I don't know what the hell. What I do know is
It's confusing me trying to explain it.
yeah. What I do
I
know
I didn't
is
see it either.
there was a perfect opportunity for a cameo from Max and Allison at the end. Like they walk in the magic shop or something. It's like, they really cleaned this place up or something. They're like, yeah, we'll take 2, like buy a Black Flame Candle souvenir or something.
Well, Max doesn't act anymore, that actor. His name's...
I mean, that would have just made it all the better. He's got a lot of free time.
Manny Katz, I think his name is. Something like that. Manny
Omri.
Omri Katz.
But I will say, Thora
weed.
Birch.
He runs a pot store now.
Thora Birch was originally planned to reprise her
Schedule
role,
and
but because of
conflict.
schedule, which is so dumb to me. Like, dog, you can't find a day or two to film some shit. Like, work with the other delay. Like, wait, you've had several years film some. Like, you can't get her for a day for like an hour to film something.
Mhm.
Scheduling conflicts are so weird to me with smaller roles. Like,
Yeah.
rearrange some shit.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Hollywood.
I
I
don't
hear
know.
you. Wow.
I mean, we can do reshoots on Justice League and digitally remove a mustache, but we can't get Thora Birch and Hocus
you
Pocus.
can't,
can't,
digitally
'cause it
remove
looks
a
like-
mustache.
That's what I'm saying.
Fucking Microsoft
But
Paint.
we can't get Thora
It's
Birch.
awful. You have to do that for every frame. And it looked bad. Oh, yeah. Anyway. Well, if Paramount would have let him shave the damn thing,
Are we
they
talking
wouldn't
about
let
that?
him
Hocus?
shave.
Talking about
Yeah,
Hocus?
let's save
sorry.
that for when we inevitably won't cover
Okay.
that movie. All right.
So,
Mission Impossible.
when Gilbert and the ingredients, when they get the ingredients,
There's
Gilbert
the
and the
series.
ingredients.
Gilbert's Ingredients.
Gilbert and the ingredients, when he grabs the ingredients, okay, that spell should not have worked worth a shit. Because
Yeah, 'cause the
it's
spider
a
was
stuffed
fake.
spider. They ain't petrified, and they make a joke about it earlier, like
You
petrified,
just
but
sounded
I
like
can't tell
Tim
the
Allen.
difference. Charlie!
It's a fake spider.
Come on, Charlie!
I'm not Santa. Oh. It's not a real
I'm in
spider.
big trouble. Uh-huh.
Oh.
In front of the mirror.
Put Tim Allen in this for no reason.
Bobo Shisho.
Santa Claus.
Oh, we got to cover Santa Claus.
He's
so.
just Santa Claus during Halloween. Nope. Wrong holiday.
So, anyway, the spell shouldn't have worked, so there's kind of a plot hole.
Yeah.
That when she calls Book, when she shows up, when they got the circle, she needs the book to do the spell. How fast that book just out the window. It was out that window faster than Joel was under the sheets.
Nice.
Because I was cold.
That was
Man, oh, man.
But
No.
No. Ejaculation
Oh,
joke.
is that the joke?
Yeah, we gotta hand feed the
What do you
audience
think? I talk about penis all the time.
What do you think? It's sitting in my
It's
car.
like, but just like what, flick it or
I guess I'll just go
like-
jag off. Ah, damn it. That's like the
So
10, 11, 12 time today. Like 10, 11, 12 times
The girls-
today. Girl guy, call us. We got bits
Girl
for you.
guy, we gotta have you on. We have okay, they're like, you've become redundant. They fling him off, and I guess fuck Gilbert because they don't care about him. He flies away.
Yeah, but it comes back.
These are the most benevolent, malevolent witches.
Those are
on
two different
screen, 'cause
things.
They
Pick
don't
one.
kill anybody. No,
Well,
it's
here's
an
the thing.
oxymoron. They're benevolent, but yet they're malevolent because they never kill anybody. They don't. They say
Yeah,
they
I
do. They
don't
say they
get-
eat children. Like, I'm having trouble picturing Mary eating a fucking baby like a turkey leg.
Well, they suck the-
Winnie.
Here-
It tastes
here's
like chicken.
That's high quality children. So, who? So they could. Here's the thing.
You guys are making me
They
laugh.
do it to live forever, but they don't need to be the most powerful. They're literally by default the most powerful beings on Earth in the universe. They're the only witches. But
Well, they're not
besides
the
that
only
guy.
witches. If it's like Twilight, then there's probably other covens and stuff like that.
Case in point, the end of this movie.
You guys didn't see the post.
No.
I did not. I thought there may have been one. I didn't stick
Well,
around.
I'll explain it. It shows.
You
like
already tried to.
I'll do it a little better.
Margaret,
So the
take two.
camera is going into the magic
Yeah.
shop, and it's after it's closed. It shows the cat. It shows the cat jump up on a box that says, "BF candle" with the number 2, and then he
Big
just sits on
fucking
the
candle?
box, and then the camera, the black flame candle. Like he's got a whole box of them, and then it just like zooms in. It does the like the black, like the tunnel vision on his eyes, on this blank expression of this cat, and it just ends.
Guys, I think
I don't know what they're telling
The
us.
cat might be a warlock.
I don't know. They really tried shoving that pussy,
Whoa.
that cat in our face. And listen, most of the time I'm for it.
Oh.
Shove it right in. But with this one, I'm like, hey, come on. What are we doing with this?
There's a lot. Mary has a couple of really pretty funny Maryisms, I guess we can call them, when they're
does
doing
the
the
bag.
Ichika Kapita Maxima. And when they get to the lyric where they're not supposed to repeat it,
Yeah.
and she's like, Ichika.
When you smack me in the face. Oh, I love it when you do that.
Yeah, that wasn't in there.
Maybe she's
Nope.
more Little Nicky. She's more Little Nicky.
Yeah.
Either way, she's an Adam Sandler character. Wait, you want to smack me in the face again?
Release the good.
Eat the children. She's Little Water Boy Nicky.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
the other one was when they're throwing pine cones. She has her own coven, you witch. How we had rated PG swear word.
Oh,
We're throwing pine cones. We're zapping her with the
Yeah.
And then Barry goes, and I just heard this before recording. I was rewatching the scenes to take some notes. And you hear Mary in the whole chaotic cacophony. She got me in my place.
I did not hear that part, mainly because I was checked out.
Me, because you're checked
And I
out.
listened to it back. I was like, she got me in my place. Okay.
And this is PG. Got it.
Oh, I love the
Winnie,
sound.
I'm pregnant.
Winnie, help me.
Man, look, this movie's fine.
Yeah, just fine.
It's awesome.
I'm glad you enjoy it. I enjoyed it.
I
but
enjoyed
not
it
as much
longer
as
than
you
it
did.
went on.
But can we
I
talk
love
about
the sound design.
I mean, what I did like was
go ahead, Joel.
the sacrifice to be made. You know, the fact that we finally got to see Winnie's softer side, like her actually
Yes. Why didn't
she
devastated
call
that.
them
Oh my god, I had to
parasites,
get
though?
rid of my sisters. You know.
Mm-hmm.
How
Yeah.
dark of a turn would it have been if she was like, "Oh, finally! All right." Anyway, and it just cuts to black. Salem
Well,
dies.
you said she called them parasites and whatever.
She's mean to them, but now all of a
She's
sudden
very
like,
mean to them, but it's more of a they're my sisters. Like, yeah, I can say you can't say that stuff to my sisters. I can say that to my sisters,
Like
but you
we
can't.
can make fun
like,
of Joel,
like
You
that
can't
sort
make
of
fun
thing.
Joel.
Like that sort of that's just their family dynamic. It's almost an expression of Winnie's love, I guess, in an ironic way.
it's kind of like
but-
us.
It's kind of scary. It's not scary, excuse me. It is sad. I actually felt for her, like you
No, you're
said,
right. It
when
is scary
her
when
sisters.
women get that much power.
Well, wow, there goes half our audience, or none.
But we just gained back Texas.
Okay. Oh,
We gotta get Texas back. Just say something to get Texas back.
but on a serious note, that did make me sad because
Oh, yeah.
she's genuinely affected. Those are my sisters. I've lived my whole life, 300 plus years, whatever.
Yeah.
We've always been together, and we were together at the beginning, and that's the whole thing that sets off the beginning of the movie is they were trying to get rid of my sisters, but I'm not going to let that happen. And then it was that line she says, "It was my doing, that was my own undoing." It's very sad when she realizes what she did, and it's just a message of power comes at a cost, sort of thing.
What's the line?
Always,
I'll
always,
find it.
always.
There's a
Power
cool
always
little-
comes at a cost.
You guys keep talking. There's a cool little bit
I
about
did
a
think-
line that Mary says.
I did think the somberness of the scene. They added little touches of humor when she's like, "Don't worry, Winnie. I know I was your favorite." Like that. That's funny. Okay. But then it's showing like this wide angle 3-shot of all three of them, and it's just another really bad green screen effect.
Here's
A.
this
A.
will explain. Listen, in the original film, Mary's mouth is crooked to the right. This time, it's to the left. Kathy Najimy explains this is because it's hard for her to do it on the original side now. So to explain it away, Winifred slaps Mary on her mouth, and it moves to the other side.
Okay.
So blink
I
and you
dig
miss
it.
it.
I dig it.
But there's another thing.
I dig it. You guys, I love the sound effects and the scene specifically. And I don't have that too much to talk about in this act. That
I don't
scene when
either.
when Sarah shoots, "Kill him, Winnie," and she shoots the lightning in between them in the woods, Izzy and Becca. It's like they realize, oh, we're just as powerful as you now, Winifred, and they start dicking around with their fingers, like shooting lightning and shit.
Dicking around. I got
The
it
sound
too.
effect work for the
Mhm.
lightning is top
And I'm
tier.
just not
I loved
seeing
it.
like what the fuss about. I thought the lightning looked fine.
In this part of the movie, the lightning looks
Like
fine.
I liked how they
it looks
matched
okay.
the colors.
It's a
to
little
the,
less than
to each witch.
right.
There's a line that Mary says that I really like. Okay, so Mary says, "Sorrow is such a sweet parting." This is a pun taken from William Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet, where Juliet says from the balcony to Romeo, "Parting is such sweet sorrow." I thought that was a fun little
Shakespeare.
Little-
Yeah,
twist.
they did disappear in a way similar to the first movie in terms of saying the same thing, like bye bye and bye goodbye. Yeah, I got very Tross like vibes, like Palpatine vibes. With
Somehow
like
the
they finished.
Sandersons have returned.
They finish the spell, and you get the beam of
Yeah.
lightning going out of the
There
sky.
has to be a beam.
And then she goes, "Ah!" Shoots the lightning, except she didn't blow out my subs.
Unlimited.
Yeah. And then Becca's
Ah,
like, "What have I done?" But anyway, I did get that they don't feel sympathy, I don't think, for the Sandersons at first when they're like, we got to tell them about the warning. They're just thinking of that. We got to tell
They're
her about
chanting.
the warning.
They're chanting.
We got to tell her about the warning because that will get her to stop because she'll be sacrificing her sisters. And that's what she cares about the most. We're not doing it for them. We're doing it to save Salem. Another thing I noticed was the girls, Becca, Cassie, and
Mhm.
Izzy. Yes.
Yep. Izzy.
They mirror the three Sanderson sisters.
Right.
In their costumes, in their designs. Izzy is Mary with her hair, her ponytail. Becca is Winifred with the green over sweater thing.
She's the leader.
And she's the leader. And then Cassie's Sarah, except not as stupid.
No.
And that whole plot just came and went in a fart in the wind. The whole
Like a Mary fart.
We're gonna set up this. We're not friends.
Yeah.
We're not friends anymore. Oh, we're gonna mend fences over one little talk.
Well, she realizes Becca's a witch. Hey, we're cool, right?
I thought that was not resolved as good.
We're cool. No, but that's high school. It does happen that quick.
It could have been better though.
And I know that from experience. We all
In high school it
fights
happens
with
like
our
that, but you
friends.
can't do it like that in a movie. It has to be more. There's
I think
more.
you can.
Okay. What? Christian
can see
does
why you
not
wouldn't
want to
like it.
argue?
No. Did you rank them? Did you give them a ranking?
Yep. Pretty easy for me.
Yep. So you start, Joel. Well, first of all, guys, thanks for listening to the Hocus Pocus. That wraps it up. With that, we already shared our final thoughts. This has been fun, but now it's time to rank these witches. So, Joel, Hocus Pocus 1, you gave it a
87. Yeah.
whoa. That's a big one.
I have to come up off the top of my head. Oh, no, I don't.
I'll go next then. I gave mine, Hocus Pocus, a 75 that I thought was pretty high. Christian, Hocus Pocus.
Hocus Pocus, I'll give it 80. I'll give it an 80. 80.
Okay.
80, it's a nice solid classic 90s cult classic. It looks the part, it sounds the part.
There's probably a
It's
lot
great.
of nostalgia weighing into my maybe my
Yes,
number
that
is
as
probably
well.
overtaken with nostalgia. But I
That as well.
definitely I couldn't give it outside of the B range if we're talking about school grading.
Fair enough.
So I don't know.
Fair
87.
Hocus Pocus 2. Joel,
I'm gonna stoop down to 79, I think. Yeah.
man, I thought my numbers were high. I gave Hocus Pocus 2 a 65. I just bumped
Okay.
it down 10. Christian,
I'll give it a 70. I'll give it a solid C. I'll give it a solid
That's
C.
fair.
It's funny.
That's fair.
It starts off very rocky. Like I mentioned it already before, the whole old band getting back together bit. But as the movie continues, they fall back into their roles naturally, and it becomes funny. I laughed many, many times during this movie. And I like how it gives us it does give us a more sympathetic view of Winnie at the end. And there's undeniably funny moments. So there
there
might
it
not
is.
be as good or as classic. It's not, the budget must have been slightly bigger. They
not
almost
for the
look
flying.
too good. The makeup almost
the
looks
VFX.
too good. It loses that budget limited look of the 90s
And charm.
version.
Yeah.
But as I digress. Yeah, the charm as well, it loses. I hear you. The score is the same, though. John Debney did the score for this one as well, and the first
Good.
one. But yeah, 70, yeah. 80 plus 70 equals...
And that brings your,
we divide it by what again?
but just the two films, and then give me your number.
80 plus
Like,
70
I got
divided by
mine
2.
83.
Okay. And
75.
Christian, 75 divided by 3. Coming in at, well, here's the current rankings. Number 5, High School Musical, 65. Number 4, Independence Day, 77. Number 3, tied for number 3, I guess, Ace Ventura, 77. Number 2, Harry Potter, 86. Number 1, Top Gun, 91. And coming in at 5th place, bumping High School Musical down to 6, we have Hocus Pocus with 76.
I dig it. That's reasonable.
Definitely
I think
deserves
so,
to be
too.
above High School Musical. So yeah, I'm happy. Although somebody's going to point out our flawed math again. They'll be like, "Wow, you're using franchises that you have 2 and 3 and 4 and blah." Okay, whatever.
But that doesn't.
Yeah,
But it
Oh,
still
well.
it still slots in there.
we're
It's not like
averaging
Hocus Pocus is
the
number 2.
story
Yeah.
overall.
Yeah. So we're quickening it up
Yeah.
for you. Hey, this has been a fun, spooky. Wait, hold on. Time code this. Write it down. Let me see you write it down.
Wow.
Write this
Wow.
down. Do you guys have the thing
Yes.
up
Yeah.
in front of you? All right. Do you want to do a run through to make sure that we are all in sync on the? But we're ready to.
I think
Or do you think
it'll
we'll
be
just-
funny
or how
if we
about we
are
just-
slightly out of sync anyway. So let's just go.
Okay. Well, okay. So now unpack, guys. I know Halloween's over, and I thought that we were past this, and I thought it was just like a dream, whatever. I don't know, but I thought it was the wind. But I'm starting to get a little spooked because I'm hearing shit rattling around in the house. I mean, I got kids. Is there any, like, do you guys have any, I don't know, any suggestions just in case it is a paranormal something?
We might know
That's
somebody.
I haven't
Za.
really dealt with that myself, but
Plural.
Well, how would who?
Well, I just saw this commercial the other day. I can play it for you guys
All right.
if you want to see it.
Sure.
Okay.
Are you troubled by strange noises in the middle of the night?
Do you experience feelings of dread in your basement or attic?
Have you or any of your family ever seen a spook, specter, or ghost?
If the answer is yes, then don't wait another minute. Pick up your phone and call the professionals. Go, Ghostbusters! Our courteous and efficient staff is on call 24 hours a day to serve all your supernatural elimination needs.
We're ready to believe you!
So, who you gonna call? And then, and you throw in that.
Ghostbusters.
and I had it. I had
I
it.
let
I
you
had it on the
guys-
button, but it's not playing, of course. So it's okay.
I let
I'm
you
s-
guys talk me into this franchise. I've been putting it off, but I just want you to know I've always wanted to watch it. So this isn't going to be a prove yourself wrong again. I'm excited to get into Ghostbusters. I've never seen any of them.
You've never wanted to watch them.
Because I don't know. Like I have to be
You're
in the
just
right
like,
mood. And I know that Halloween's over now, but we all decided
doesn't matter.
collectively
Ghostbusters
doesn't matter.
Afterlife came out in November last
Right.
year.
it's a post
In
Halloween.
between, it's the in between.
They're not
it's like,
Halloween
it's a good in between
movies. Yeah.
Halloween and holiday season type official kickoff.
Yeah.
It's a buffer.
It's not even a Halloween
And-
movie.
Ghostbusters, though, guys. I have no knowledge except for the who you gonna call and their gun things. I do have a
Proton pack.
question. Do we count Casper?
Leave Casper alone.
No.
Dan Aykroyd shows up in that
Yeah.
film
Oh yeah,
in his
yeah.
character. It's
That's
in
true.
universe.
That's true,
We can review that scene.
dude. I totally
right.
forgot about that.
10-minute episode, Casper.
So what am I in for? Is it really worth the hype? Like
It
is this
really,
a good
man.
It's a classic.
dude,
franchise through and through.
it's a classic.
Minus the,
It's Bill
Melissa
Murray
McCarthy
at his
one.
peak, I think. But
Okay.
Well, how topical.
Oh yeah, because he's apparently allegedly a creep. Anyway, Christian, play us out.
Anyway, guys, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, anybody, thank you for tuning into yet another episode of Sequel Men, the podcast. We're excited to have you. And before I continue my sign off, I just wanted to point out one little thing I forgot to mention. I love how they made Book into more of a character and made his eye more of an element of showing like his character, like
I did like
expression
that.
and the sweat and that sort of thing, the crying.
I did like
loved
that.
how they did that. Anyway, you can hear us on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, anywhere you like to listen to your podcast. Tune in, check us out. We got a bunch of other episodes and franchises too, and we hope you enjoyed listening.
I just checked. Our biggest platform currently is Samsung Podcasts. So I don't know if that's bots, because let's be honest, nobody's buying Samsung phones anyway. Find us on social medias, on the Facebook, on the Instagram. Don't know why I said it like
Cajun?
that. the Twit, and other.
Palpatine.
We're trying to be more. We have been more active on the Facebook at least, and I'll post when I feel like it on the Instagram, and we're out there. We're out there. Give us a review, give us a like, give us a star on whatever
Email.
things you can give us stars. Samsung, I guess. Hey, keep listening on that.
Why you have something against Samsung?
And
Because I have an iPhone. I don't know. It's just like a funny thing.
Email
I'm
us
obligated.
sequelman19@gmail.com. Also, I've been keeping that YouTube channel up to date. Hey, maybe we have 11 subscribers now. I don't know. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We've been trying to stay on top of uploading. We've had some downtime there. I was out in nature. Oh, well. It happens. Also, you can find Sequelman stuff on my website, in my social media. So my website, jpvoicedj.com. And just look me up on my official page, Joel Powie, Entertainment Media Talent. That's all I have.
All right. No better way to close it than with Joel shutting his mouth. And with that, we can't wait.
That's right, Christian, because here at Sequelman the Podcast.
All films thus created sequel. Thoust, right? That's what they say. Back in the Salon.
You're mocking me, aren't you?
Yes. All right, bye.